seen a World Cup and you've watched the World Cup, a lot of the time, what tends to happen is that when African countries arrive at the World Cup, a lot of the time when they play, they're fearful. When they get on the pitch, they don't know what to do. It seems as though they're not ready. It seems as though they're not meant to be here. What I will give Banyana, and they deserve a lot, but what I'll give Banyana is that for 120 minutes, 60 minutes this match, 60 minutes in their first match, they looked incredible. They looked like the African curse or the African mentality that a lot of African countries take into the World Cup was not about them. They controlled the match. They controlled the tempo. Sweden, third ranked in the world, looked completely out of the match for that first half up until they scored the equalizing goal. Argentina, also ranked 28th in the world, looked like they were not in this match at all. And Banyana did so well to play this and to control that game and to control the tempo and to show us what can be done when you believe in yourselves just a little bit. I've always said that it seems as though Banyana has a front 5, 6, and then they have the rest of the team. So when you look at Refilwe Jane, when you look at Jermaine, when you look at Hilda Machaya, when you look at Thembi Kgatlana, when you look at Ulinda Mhlalo, it feels as though, man, you're watching quality. They play overseas, of course, so I think they're over that thing of being shocked by playing with Europeans, playing with people who are quote-unquote better. And you can tell it. Even in this match, Thembi could have killed the game off a few times where maybe she was a bit selfish, right? But she did eventually get the assist and get a goal, right? And get a goal. But you could tell that they play at a different level. Now, the issue for me is what happens after 60 minutes? Because for me, how it feels is that we play so well. We're in it. We believe. We're confident. But then it seems as though when we get to like 60th minute, right, 30 minutes to go, some of that inferiority complex creeps in. And I know this time we lost Refilwe very early, but it seems as though, especially Desiree Ellis, she starts thinking, hey, you know what? Let's try defend. Let's try sit back. Let's try consolidate this lead. And anybody who's watched football, guys, anyone who's watched football, for me, you know that the football gods hate it when you sit back. And it's all well and good to consolidate a lead, to sit back, to defend deep, to do those things when it's a league game and you can afford to go 2-2. When it's a league game where another team might think, you know what, it's fine, they've beaten us. Let's sit back and then tomorrow we're going to come back and we'll play. But this is knockout football. So if you're going to sit back and invite pressure, you're going to be punished over and over and over again. It's not the first time we've scored first. We scored first versus Sweden and we conceded 2 goals. We scored 2 goals versus Argentina and conceded 2 goals. And towards the end of the match, I don't know what I was watching. When it comes to quality-wise. It seems as though Desiree really wants to get everybody else onto the pitch and play. But for some reason, man, we just fall apart. And again, I think the lack of Banyana's ability to say, okay, guys, we have a plan going to the end of this match, to see out this match. You can play defensively, no doubt. Anybody can play defensively. You can also play attacking. But if you're going to play defensively, those things have to be coached. Those things have to be marshaled. You're not going to just throw on 6 different players or 5 different players and then think that that's going to stop them from scoring. To think that Nje having more people on the pitch is going to be what's going to magically stop a team that is in a World Cup that needs this win as much as you do from coming back and attacking you guys. And especially when you know Kaylin Swartz is in goal. Kaylin Swartz is short, and she cannot marshal that box, man. She doesn't have command of that box. So now, not only are you bringing on a whole bunch of people, right, who don't seem to know exactly what their role at this time is meant to be. On top of that, other teams watch the Sweden match. They know that, you know what, when push comes to shove, throw a high ball into the box. Just throw a high ball into the box. It will create confusion. We'll do something. And when Argentina started bringing people on, right, those people had clear jobs. There was the one with the blue hair. I'm forgetting her name. Rodriguez, I think it was. There was a clear plan for her coming onto the pitch. And it was to take advantage of that defense. And now for a second game in a row within this World Cup, we're sitting in a situation where we couldn't game manage the end of the match. Now, back to what I was saying earlier. I believe that there's a 5 and a 6 in our starting lineup. And there's a world-class 5 and a good 6. A fairly good 6, right? But you've got a world-class keeper on the bench. Somebody who played all of the qualifying games. Somebody who commands boxes, somebody who does those things well is on the bench. That could be a 7, a team of 7. When push comes to shove, and now everybody, the pressure's on us, Argentina's attacking, doing all the stuff. You've got a person sitting on the bench who's one African player, African's Women's Player of the Year. Women's African Player of the Year. Unukumatlo. Who's got the experience that you can bring them on and say, no, go into the back and show the lesser experienced players how we're going to defend this, how we're going to sit, how we're going to who should go where, who should do this. So at the very least, if you're not going to play her, at least you know that now we've got the 6 in the front, we've got 2 at the back, we've got 8 players that are world class. And it was sad to watch Refilio go off. It was very sad to watch Refilio go off. And who was the sub, guys? You'll help me out. Who came on, got a yellow card immediately, was playing very rough, had to be taken off in the second half. Right? You had some sort of play. But even towards the end, Biala, thank you. Even towards the end, when you're sitting there and you're being attacked, and now you have to make the decision. It's 2-2. Argentina's coming at me. We could lose this match. We need somebody to score, even if you leave Ukhatana and Linda on to be the counter-attack. But now we see Linda coming off. We see Tembi coming off. Guys, what's the point of going to a World Cup? When these situations come, you are meant to go in and go for the win. But like I started with, we started that match looking like a top 10 women's team in the world. We ended that match looking like Zambia. No shade to Zambia. But there was no coordination. There was no plan. You need to know what's going to happen in the last 30 minutes. You need to know. Guys, we're 2-0 up. Yes, so we're going to sit back 2 banks of 4. We're going to send them wide. We're going to crowd them. We're going to do something. We're going to catch them on the counter in order to get our goal. But it was just headless chickens running around at the end. No plan. It felt as though we weren't leading 2-0. It felt as though we didn't play as well. But like I said, for 120 minutes, 60 minutes each of those matches, Banyana looked out of this world. But like as with anything, the difference between the truly world-class players, the truly world-class teams is this. You know what happens? Like when we speak to our players, a lot of the time with our players, natural ability is what is focused on. Natural ability. As the law, we are trying to defend. But the difference between that and the others is the European teams tell them, guys, we're 2-0 down right now in the World Cup. We lost our first game. Argentina lost their first game to Italy. Now they're coming into this match and they're going, we need a win. It's 2-0. That coach had a plan. He sat down and he went, okay, Rodriguez, I forgot the other guy, the other player that came on. There were two of them that made the difference. Rodriguez, Mang, you're going to come in and we're going to play like this. We've planned for this. They started putting longer balls into the box because they know Kaylin Suarez is a bit weak when it comes to high balls. They had a plan. So if somebody can tell me what our plan was, that, okay, we're 2-0 up. It's 60th minute. I don't know why we started 65th minute going, hi guys, you want to sit back, but it's 65 minutes. How are we going to mitigate whatever these people are trying to do? We started out looking like Nunez, thank you. We started out looking like top 10. We ended up looking like another African team that is there to make up numbers, that is outplayed when it matters most. For all the good that Banyana have done, let's have a serious conversation about, guys, finish the matches. Finish the matches. They look scared. And Coach Desiree, at the end of the day, you finished the match with all of your top people out. I think it was only Jermaine, who was left. It was only Jermaine who was left on the pitch, who you could say is experienced, wasn't afraid, and all of that stuff. And you had a lot of people who you could tell were not ready. But Nuku's on the bench. In fact, I would have maybe loved to see Janine van Beek at the World Cup for this situation. Or what is this situation right now where you could go, guys, you guys are older, you guys have been through this, you know the pressure. Come inside, control it. That being said, it's wonderful for Banyana for those 60 odd minutes to show what you can do, to show what we're capable of, to show how good our players are. So I'm going to give them props for that. But if you come home after playing so well, I'm sorry. It means nothing at the end of the day. It means nothing. Thembi Kgatlana's got a Man of the Match award. Player of the Match award. It means nothing if we're coming home. And we played amazingly versus Sweden. But we're tactically naive when we end matches. Positionally naive when we end matches. The experience is not there. It's actually so sad that people like Linda is playing in the sixth type of position. He's playing next to Urifilwe because there's no one else who can come in there. But we'll get into that. Let me read some of the comments and then I'll open the panel and we can speak about it. Kgatlana's very selfish. Mbane was solid at the back though. Mr. Peseno was hot, but Thembi didn't recognize her. It seems like they don't have a plan. Oh, Desiree Ellis doesn't have a plan. She at least scored 2 goals and parked the bus. But guys, you teach park the bus. You teach park the bus. It's not everybody runs in. Watch a prime Burnley when they're trying to make things tough. Watch what TS Galaxy did to Chiefs when they got the red card. You coach it. You cannot tell me that we're parking the bus, but a clearance that goes to the top of our box, 18 yards. The second goal came from there, where the person trapped, placed the ball. You can't do that when we are parking the bus. There's an art to parking the bus. There's a tactic to parking the bus. Leicester City won a league knowing that, guys, we're going to park the bus and we're going to leave Mahrez and Vardy at the front. So that as soon as we win the ball, there's an outlet. You don't just let people go. And I think that's what's happening. Desiree is going, I don't know if it's a panic. I don't know if it's a lack of game management or naivety or something. There's a panic to it where she's just going, let me just get as many players onto the pitch. And it really does seem like they don't know what they're doing when they get onto the pitch. Why doesn't she play Noku? That's my question. Prajulas, how are you doing? Tembi was selfish, but he didn't have to sub her, and we need the likes of Nukumato. Ted Dimitri was always saying the best way to defend is attack. She has to learn game management. And guys, that's why I'm like, have a plan. It's not always that you have to park the bus, for example. It's not always. Tactically, you know that I'm 2-0 up in a World Cup group stage game where it's knockouts, right? Where we're about to get knocked out. They're about to get knocked out. These people are going to throw in as many attackers as you want. What do, right? Hit them on a counter, get the third one, for example. Or pressure them back. We shouldn't be under pressure at 2-0 up. But you need to have a plan. I'm going to keep saying it like, we need to have a plan. You know that thing we were saying about Atazwani? Just the whole season, we've been saying about Atazwani. Chiefs gets a red card. We got like 5 or 6 red cards last season. Chiefs gets a red card. You need to know, okay, in this situation, right now, what do? How do we take advantage of this? Immediately. Red card, okay, I'm gonna sacrifice a defensive midfielder and I'm gonna put in another attacker. I'm gonna sacrifice the defender, we're gonna go into a 3, and then we're gonna do this. Right? But now for 2 games in a row with Banyana, we've seen that we're in the ascendancy, we're in the lead. And there's no way to either consolidate or to score more. The subs didn't know their jobs. It's not the defense. The keeper is a problem. Maraswart is also the problem. And truly speaking, we had that in our hands. We have quality in our starting lineup. If the WAFCON keeper of the year, WAFCON keeper of the year, Dlamini, our downfall was our keeper and defensive midfielders. Janez injury cost us. But you need a plan B. That's why you have a squad, guys. That's why you have a squad. That's why you have a squad. That's why you pick, 25 players to go with you there. So that if something happens, you go, hi, Yazdin. We can click into plan B, plan C, plan D, plan whatever. And what hurts me more than anything is that we were 2-0 up. 2 goals up. 2. Not 1. But when 1 goal is tough to defend, you're 2 goals up. Which means at the very least the other team has to beat you twice in a certain time period. But again, I don't feel like it's management and all of that stuff. I feel as though we got to the ascendancy, and then we were like, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't be here. Maybe this is too much. Hi, Yazin. Forget about anything. We're panicking now. Let's just throw people in. Noma ubani magangene. Let's see, Andy. There's nothing wrong with criticizing, but what are we proposing needs to happen? I've said it. If you're leading 2-0, 1-0, and you want to consolidate, you want to sit back and defend, Nukumato who's on the bench. If you want to make sure that you don't give an outlet to somebody, so all the teams know that if we're under pressure, press the button. Oh, what's the button? I'm crossing the ball in 750 times because that keeper doesn't know how to stop that. You've got a keeper sitting on the bench who can. As somebody said here, WAFCON keeper of the year, sitting right there. You get me? At the end of matches, don't take off all your stars. You've already lost Refilwe. Refilwe's lost. Don't take out people who can relieve pressure. Linda can relieve pressure. Khatana, you saw her getting the ball and running herself into the other side of the box. Whether she's doing whatever up there, that's not what we're talking about now. She can get the ball and take it to the other side and relieve pressure. That's what you do in these situations. But everybody running in, clearances to everywhere, just invites more pressure. Have a plan for that. You need a plan for that, guys. It's coaching. That's what coaching is. And Desiree does amazingly with the game. That's why I made the example of what makes the difference between a world-class team and a good team. Banyana is very good. But now, there's moments. There's moments. When we get to the front, how do we play the ball? When we're defending the lead, how do we defend the lead? When we're behind, what do? You saw Sweden change tactics during their game when they went behind. Now we've seen Argentina change tactics when they went behind by 2 goals. What do we do when we're ahead? Ramalepe also is I agree. She was very poor with that. Viala really knew when to stop the game. Taking off Khatana was a bad idea. She was a threat. She sold us the coach on a highly price. Talking of Khatana, one of the coach's biggest mistakes ever to take off. My guy, I'm angry. I think, agent, do you know what's making me angry? What's making me angry is it's one thing to be a poor team and lose because you're a poor team. It's one thing. Great. You've lost. Zambia lost 5-0 first game, 5-0 second game. It's one thing to be like, you know what, guys? We went to the World Cup. We were outplayed. But what makes me so hyped up is that this is a very good... Guys, Banyana is playing extremely great football. Extremely great football. They're being robbed of just finish off the match. Guys, for 60 minutes, we looked incredible. Incredible. Against Sweden, guys, I don't think you guys understand this. I don't think you guys understand this. Sweden is third. We are number 54. Third. Top 3. This Argentina side is 28th. Still, 26 points ahead, 26 places ahead of us. And the only thing that let us down was game management. But otherwise, they play so well, guys. It's a chance. Now, you don't want to be one of those teams where at the end of the day, you've played well, you've done this, you've done... Arsenal, I'm an Arsenal fan. Maybe that's why I'm also hacked. I'm an Arsenal fan, and when push comes to shove, I needed a plan B in order to go win the league. Or win those matches, the 4 runs of matches. You've played so amazingly and you're robbed at the end because of game management, of plan B. That's why I'm hyped up. This is a very good team, guys. I don't think we give them credit. I don't want to make that comparison. Anyway, what is the problem is that our girls have pure decision making. We lead 2-0 and the coach failed to manage the game. Man, the coach sold us out. We played well. Just that change from Argentina gave us flames. Guys, can we please stop or avoid the temptation? Argentina were no longer playing. They were just pumping the ball into the box. If you know soccer well, the coach played Italian soccer, defend and counter-attack. But where was the counter-attack? Who was counter-attacking? Guys. Khating, why is Lamini not playing? apparently the rumor is that she's being punished because she was one of the ones that started the strike. That was the rumor. The rumor is that she was one of the leaders of the strike, and therefore they felt as though you need to sit down. Maybe that was the deal with Isafa. I don't know, but yeah. I mean, she knows she doesn't have quality to maintain, but she subs off key players. Exactly, in Ntabeleng. Worst part of it early, defend, absorb pressure, counter-attack. What disappointed me was she mentioned missed chances, not that they got it tactically wrong. The coach made unnecessary changes. Our goalie is also bad. We are devastated. Why number 11 and 10 were substituted? She could have brought on another keeper, Kasekonaf, because wow. Tembi was top yesterday. I'm disappointed by Banyana and don't think they will win the next game. We really missed a player like Talia Smith, who came on during AFCON after we got an injury. She wasn't player of the game for me. She's bad. We needed Noko's experience in both matches. Lekau, do you remember when the late Clive Barker took out Dr. Khumalo against Brazil in 1996? And I'm disappointed on the goalkeeper side. I don't know why they benched Dlamini. Goalkeeper is the problem. Why is Ayanda Dlamini on the bench, our number one goalkeeper in Africa? I'm angry with our coach. Why can't we give another goalkeeper a chance? I said it in the first game. If we continue without Andile Dlamini in goals, we're not going to proceed. I think it was December 96. Seems like there's some instructions given to her, but I cannot understand why you bench AD. Tactics were not spot on. I think we need to be able to consolidate after scoring the goal. They press so good. We should keep shape. Our coach is feeling the pressure. Much is expected from the African champions. After they scored their second goal, there was no leading player to encourage them to press more. You can't just throw someone when the game is on fire like that. You have to put in someone with experience. We need Pitso to coach Banyana. I'm disappointed on the goalkeeper side. I don't know why they benched Dlamini. Problem, goalkeeper can't dive. South Africa doesn't have a strong bench. Bro, I've seen this with Chiefs. It's a South African football problem. There's nothing wrong with criticizing. Okay, I mentioned that. I think this is a South African problem and we can't manage the game. We need to improve on this. We must beat Italy, guys. We have hope to qualify. Politics are playing our football. Why is Dlamini on the bench? They even stopped pressing after the second goal. Banyana, guys, number 19, she got substituted around 50 minutes. We got punished. That lady was brilliant. She was actually lucky to be on the pitch for that long. By the time she got subbed, she was already sitting on 3 fouls. She had 3 fouls and a yellow card. So I think it was a proactive from the coach to take her off because it would have been a red card, then 10 men and blah, 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 all of that stuff. She was already, because of the yellow card, she picked up a yellow card in the first game and picked up a yellow card in the second. She's already out for the third game. So, hey, we better hope that Refilio is back. We must beat Italy to qualify. The subs were not wrong. Those players didn't want to step up. This is about race. Okay, I don't know about that. Problem is our management. They're not sure about what they're doing there. I love Nigeria's game against Australia. Maybe the coach doesn't know what to plan to. Ramalepe unama mistake move. Swart vulnerable on crosses. I kept closing my eyes. Final moments. Yeah, but we don't support our ladies here at home, but you want them to shine in the world. I don't know about you guys, but I covered a lot of WEFCON. So maybe you're speaking to somebody else, but I've told, I don't know how many times, we even had a conversation before this and a fight before this, where I've been saying, this team is incredible. And they're the champions, and they should be treated as such. So don't say we don't support it, don't support, please. If you gets injured, you put someone on good with passes, then you take on a pass, then you take that person out. We don't have a coach. These players won the WAFCON on their own. I'm gonna skip some of these so that I can bring in somebody. Coach doesn't have a plan B for the second half. Matlo is needed in our defense. The coach got them to this team. Coach lacks experience in these games, so we're not going to the finals. True blow. We had a good team. Where is Noko? But those goals scored, goalkeeper doesn't have a chance. Banyana was too aggressive. Banyana was sub to avoid red card. Remember, Jane might not come back. Exactly. Longa, but if I tell you to do something and you don't listen, it's the player's fault. I don't even know if it's the player's fault, guys. Let me try use the example differently. I think this is what happens with South African football, and I'm going to use something similar. I play Kokasi. I'm found Kokasi. I come to practice, they find that I'm a very good natural striker for whatever reason. I'm a natural striker, Kitseba Park, right? That makes me an okay player. But what you need to drill at the end of the day is now you have to sit with me and say, okay, you move like this. When the defender's looking at you like this, you turn around and you turn and do this. When you do this, run like this. Those are the things that make a difference. So what I feel happened for me is a lot of these players are a little bit inexperienced from the bench side, and they were told, you know what, guys, you're very good defenders. So ngenani nibone ukuthi nizoyenzani lapha, but bangaconcede. If you watch that game, if you watch the end of that game, we had no midfield. The end of that game, we had no midfield. There was a hole in midfield and right in front of our defense. Now, when you coach these players, usually you say, guys, when you play 2 backs of 4, we've got the 4 that's going to sit back in the thing. We've got a 4 right in front of them. And a movie. Your job is to make everything harder. But for me, they were just running around. Anyway, let's say, I'm telling you, bro, Banyana will never win as long as they play Ganje. Always in the second half. We'll see semi, I promise. Silver King, I want it so badly. But we have to see whether whoever's making the decisions, like, we give Coach Desiree the benefit of the doubt. Whoever's making the decisions, we've got to see if they're going to step back from a little bit of pride and say, you know what, I understand. Come onto the pitch. We need you to come in. Nukumato, you are older. We just need a 90 minutes from you. We just need a 90 minutes from you. It's crunch time now. I would have thought you would have made these changes before, but for this game. But I'm like, let's Khoza fella. They played very well first half. I don't know what happened in the other half. Guys, I'm going to open up the panel. Please, you have to be following me in order to join the panel. If you're on Facebook and you want to join the panel and speak to me, you have to join over on TikTok. Head on over to TikTok, follow the account, join the live there, and then you can talk to me here. So the lines are open, guys. You can request, and we can speak a little bit about what we saw in this World Cup match here. Okay, I've got the first 3. There's one more space left on the... Okay, there we go. Hendrik, how are you doing, my brother? Welcome to the show.
My brother, I'm good. What's happening, man?
Hey, we're letting it slip, man, with this very good team. What did you think of the Banyana match? Did you wake up at 2 like everybody to watch it?
I was actually on a live, and then the guys that I was on a live with, got something, and then they went like, let's watch the game. I did watch the game. One thing I can tell you, we must not blame the players. You score 2, and then after 2, you want to defend. Why do you want to defend? Because the more you defend, my brother, is the more you allow your opposition to come up with tactics to penetrate your defense. Understand? So as a coach, why do you even think of that? Even the best player, the best coaches in the world, you don't defend. 2 goal lead, it might look secure, but it only takes 1 goal from the opposition for them to get that fuel. That energy for them to want to score more. Understand?
And also 30 minutes is a long time. 30 minutes is way too long to do that.
Thank you. So Udesri, she killed us. The thing with Udesri, let's be honest, guys. She's not a good coach. For me, she's not a good coach. One thing that I can tell her, she's not challenged. Can you please tell me who is challenging Udesri for that coaching seat? No one. To me, she's not a good coach. She's just average. You will find out on this women's teams, those teams are coached by guys. Why can't we elect a coach that's more qualified? We must stop this thing of always focusing on gender. Every time we focus on gender because we want to give women the equality or what. But if they are not qualified, they are not qualified. Now I think it's high time that Banyana They've got the potential to win a World Cup. And I think with the right time that Banyana, one thing that they must do, they must get a proper coach, someone that's qualified, my brother. Leave this thing of gender on the side, like get a proper coach. Udezri, she's not challenged. Tell me, like I said, tell me someone that's challenging Udezri for that seat. She's too comfortable, my brother.
I think we should question. Like somebody here was saying that no, we must stop arguing. I think we should question. I'm not down on Desiree like that. It's very disappointing, but she is a WAFCON winning coach. She's got the experience. I think what's trapping her now is it feels like she's scared. It feels like she gets to the 60th minute and she starts to second guess herself, and then it's that old mentality, man. But I hear you. Let me bring in your agent quickly. Agent 007, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you doing?
I'm good, eh?
Hey.
Been gone for some time, eh?
Hey. Tell me about this game. How did you see it?
I don't know if it's possible for you to replay my what we said last time, because it's like we are repeating what we said after the student game, and on one of the student games, one of you asked was like, what are we lacking? And I said, we lack three things. We lack mentality, the coach is a suspect, and the drop off between the first team and second team is huge.
Yes.
But let me go to the game. I think if I go to the game, I read a stat by Opta Jabu in the morning that African teams in the World Cup women have dropped their 5 times, something like African teams have dropped points from leading positions like that five times. And of those 5 times, Bafana have done that 3 times. So that shows that it's a pattern now, and I don't know where to begin. But
do you think it's a mentality thing, or do you think it's a? Honestly, I don't believe we were outcoached in that first 60 minutes. I don't believe that it's a situation where Argentina has so much quality that they just, I just feel like when we got to the 60th minute, we lost our heads. Our heads were gone. Coaching too. Coach was also lost her head.
Yeah, it's like even the student game, it's not that we are being outplayed or outclassed. It's just that we have that, like you're saying, it's an African mentality. We're leading 2-0, let's stop what we're doing. Let's pull the line back and defend, But let's go to the game. I think we played well the first 60 minutes. Jermaine and Sopa Singh combined well, and Matlalo also played well, and even when Jane got injured and we replaced him with Banyana, the drop off wasn't that much, so he played well also, and we're breaking the lines. Like we had Argentina on the ropes, like before they made the substitutions, we had Argentina on the ropes, we could have made it 3-4-0, and when you go to the negatives, I had the post-match interview by Desiree saying with Suarez, he's a better goalkeeper player. He passes well and everything, and that's why he chooses him over.
Remember what we said that first game? But anyway, go on.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, but the passes of his passes, long range passes are poor. More often than not, even his medium range passes, they go to the opposition. So I don't know what excuse Desiree is giving, and every time there's crosses, all of us have to, squeeze our bums and say, and like you said, people are looking at these games. They look at student games like, just looping balls,
Yeah.
And even if you look at the first goal, the long range one, there are 2 or 3 mistakes. The first mistake, the keeper, the defender is trying to shield the player so that the keeper can come. The keeper doesn't come. He skews the clearance. It goes to Ramalepe. Ramalepe's clearance was not good. Falls on the attacker. Now that's when the midfield should be pushing in.
Exactly.
But those people are not midfielders. They're defenders. So naturally, instinctively, they retreat back to the 18-yard box. So the player has an opportunity to just score, So I was not happy with that. And
so then how much of that is players being inexperienced, and how much of it is maybe Coach Desiree should have come to them and said, guys, fight the urge to go back. I need you to stick here. When you've got when you get that random white guy on your team who doesn't know how to play soccer, you tell him, "Hey guys, stand here. I just want you to be here and disrupt over here." Shouldn't that be what Desiree should have told them?
I'm laughing because I have this white guy who plays. It's always play there. But if I think that's when the inexperience comes from. If you looked at the Australia versus Nigeria, right?
Yeah.
They put in a person called Onama or something, just to close the gap. He's a defender. His experience, I think, is the oldest, I think. And you could see when he came out, he organized better, That's when you need him at close to say, what, go and guide those young girls, Say, defender, let's push out, let's hold the line, let's do this, And like you're saying, Suarez is not a commanding keeper. And you have a keeper who's not commanding to tell the girls what to do. You have a defense which is young, who doesn't have any experience. So the backbone doesn't have a clear person who gives out instructions, and Dane, Johnny is also gone, the captain. So you have no natural leader there to say, guys, let's do this, let's shift, let's do this, So I think it goes back to the goalkeeper, the coaches, what should I call it? I don't say inexperienced because he's very experienced. I don't want to say he's not good because he's very good, So it begs the question, what's going on with Desiree? I think that should be the question that we should be asking. What's going on with Desiree, And at first we say to ourselves, what? When he decided to go with the young girls to play Botswana, we are like, okay, fine, maybe he's protecting his job. And then when he starts doing the so-called what we think he's doing by punishing players, we are like, no, this person's now in a cohort with Safa, He's the same as Johnny, So all these things, I want to give the panel the time to speak, but all of these things is on Desiree,
Okay. Let me bring in Tabeleng. Tabeleng, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you doing?
How are you, my brother? I'm good. Long time.
Hey, man. Hey, I'm not good, my guy. I'm not good. Ever since 4 o'clock in the morning, I've just been sitting thinking about this match and thinking about this match.
I didn't sleep saying, I want to watch this game properly. These girls can play football. I was telling the gents, I was like, the Sweden game, I'm like, Sweden is a great team. And those girls were like, they put Sweden on the ropes. So it means that these girls, if they can put number 3 in the world on the ropes, it means these girls can actually win this World Cup, actually.
Yeah.
But then you watch the game. I would say as a coach, you realize in your first game that we have a weakness here. My brother, I don't want to lie. There's, but coach, we want the first lineup, right?
Yeah.
The lineup is balanced. It's everything you want in the middle field, everything you want in the wingers, and everything you want in the striker. You can say whatever you want to say about Katlana. Katlana as a striker, you need, whether you like it or not. As a striker, you need. She creates movements that create spaces for other players.
Yes.
At the same time, she's confident on the ball.
Yeah.
It's rare to find a striker like that. And then again, you look at the first half, you say, as much as we were playing, those guys, they were not, Argentina were not playing football. They realized, I think the coach, you can say the subs, but I can say the coach realized one thing about our keeper. He said to himself, he can't hold the ball.
Yeah.
She can't hold the ball.
She can't hold
we
the ball.
Pumped the balls. Yeah, we pumped the balls because of second half they didn't even play.
Yeah.
The Argentina side, if first half, as much as we can say we controlled the game, it was competitive because they could play around Panini. What's her name? The Argentinian number 22.
The Panini.
She was on the ball a lot of times, and that's when they were also trying to play around. Then you realize they realized Guti playing against Banyana, they can't because of Ramolepe is solid, Gumero was solid. The back four was solid. Whether we like it or not, those girls know how to mark. Now, it becomes difficult for a defender to do their job if they know every time it's a corner or it's a cross,
Yeah.
we have to struggle. I mean, the Ramalep is a right back, but you saw the time when they took a shot. It was at her side. She was already on the goal line, protecting the goals, because of she knew Gucci, the goalkeeper won't catch it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and then that's where you say, "Oh my word, we have a problem with the keeper." The first thing she could have done was sub the goalkeeper, saying, especially since those girls, the Argentinian girls, are tall, make that sub. Bring on a goalkeeper who commands the air, even if they can't play it on the ground. Command the air, just clear the ball. There's nothing wrong. I heard you mentioning Bentley. There's nothing wrong with defending.
There's
We need to
nothing
get
wrong.
that. There's nothing wrong with defending.
But it must
But
be.
you can't. Yeah, you can't be like, what can I say? I can't be Barcelona and wake up today and just wake up. I'm like, I'm gonna defend now.
Exactly. Yeah.
I can't just decide on like kill Barcelona and say, today I am defending. And at that time, you're looking at it, you're controlling the game. You have them where you want them because they were
You've got
opening
a 2-goal
spaces.
cushion.
Yeah, they were opening those spaces in between the center backs. The center backs were going. Brown was going too much.
Yes.
She was starting to go too much up front. Now you see you have the spaces in between their back four.
Yeah.
Why not use that? She puts in a number 17. I don't know what's her name. I forgot her name.
I'm also blanking the name. Yeah. But anyway.
I was frustrated about her because of like, if Katlana was there, I think we could have got another goal.
Yes.
Because they were starting to press too much, thinking, "Hore, we need to get those balls in the box. At the same time, we need to get our defenders on those balls." They won the second ball. I mean, where was this girl? Chloe. It was that goal. I mean, she was lost. She didn't even know Nadala. She started playing on the right. Then she's a midfielder. Then she's a center back. I don't know what happened with her. And I'm like, when you make this, then goes to Desiree. If indeed she's panicking, I don't know. Maybe she's panicking. Or it's what they call it, stage fright of playing against big teams. Fine, it's okay. We understand, but don't make subs that early, bro. If you really want to defend the game, you can't say you want to defend the game. And like example, you want to defend the game. It's the 60th minute. You're leading 2-0. Until he starts out to I mean, where's your reference point? What you're saying is that I'm dropping back.
Yeah.
I'm letting the opponent get the ball.
Yes.
They don't know how to use the ball when they have it. All they do is drop it in there. Well, you could have just said, Katlana, take the ball to the corner. Doesn't matter what you do with it. Win a corner, get a corner, goal kick, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Then she makes, I don't know, panic subs. 5 subs. Okay, Biala, I understood when you said she was on a yellow card. She might not have like fulfilled Janet's boots, but she did her job. She did her job. I mean, she knew when to stop the game, when to keep the game going, And
she was just too aggressive, I think. She was just too aggressive.
Too aggressive. And you know what I've realized about our Banyana side, man? The girls are physical. I mean, physical. They can protect the ball, they can move the ball, they can play it from the back, they can play long balls, they can switch it, and the moment you know how to play that type of football and you have the players on the bench, when you say I have a squad, it means I have players that can, if I take out Katlana, I'm expecting another Katlana to be in there. If I'm taking out Super Singh, I know I'm playing, even though it's not the same quality, but it's someone that can bring the same impact to the game. You get it? Then, my man, from then on, it was frustrating to watch the game because of there's no midfield. We are not winning any second balls. We're not even winning the third balls. Everything just lands on Argentina. They try to give the ball long to the number 17. She can't hold the ball. All she does is wins. She traps the ball and dives. Man, it was just frustrating.
No, I hear you, my brother. I hear you. Let me bring in MK. MK, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you doing? MK? Ow. Okay, MK, I'm going to take you off and then I'm going to bring somebody else in just for now. Let me just check here who's in the queue. Let me read some comments while I'm here. I totally agree with you. We had no midfield in the second half. Dlamini doesn't deserve the pressure that's now on her for the last match. Jermaine played very well. Guys, Andile was not playing in the league. She was benched. That's why the coach is not playing her. I understand that for the first match, but after the second match, you have to see, all right, guys. Coach must change goalkeepers. That's it, because we're always on our backside defending. I blame the coach for replacing Khoza and Banyana at the same time. A goalkeeper coach was standing on the touchline. What does that say to you guys? No plans in J. For me, I blame the goalkeeper. She makes mistakes. She doesn't know how to catch high balls. Poor game management. Why they didn't play jersey number 4, Matlou? For me, Banyana change was bad because we gave them the midfield. Why did not play the Sundowns keeper? It was said how we drew the game. That was one. Looks like we forgot the basics of football. If we have to play Mbane as a 6 and put Noko at the back. Rio Swart and Holo Anishu, the less we say, the better about them. We have ourselves to blame. Banyana shouldn't have went off. I hope Jordaan is happy. Hey, one way or another. Let me check on Facebook and see some of the comments on that side. Swarat Maguire did it again. Desiree led by 2-0, 20 plus minutes, and she doesn't park the bus and look to play in transition. Argentina women's team is not like the men's team. They're not World Cup contenders. Banyana wasted many chances in the first half and the beginning of the second half, and the Argentinian bench changed the match after 60 minutes. Argentina were clinical with their chances and punished Banyana for not taking their chances. The Argentinian goal is already the goal of the tournament. Desiree and Swarat's relationship cost us the game. That keeper was shaky from the first game. Forget my brother, Banyana is out, says Umondisi. Don't just blame Kaylin Swart because those speedy Bafana attackers don't track back. This is modern football where attackers need to also contribute in defense and close down. Swart could do nothing about those brilliant goals from Argentina. Both goals were clinical finishes. And Andile Dlamini is not world class. She got walloped in the last World Cup when Banyana never even got 1 point. WAFCON and World Cup is two different levels of competitiveness. You can't compare the mostly amateur footballers of WAFCON with their mainly professional players at World Cup. Just ask WAFCON finalists Morocco. They got walloped 6-0 by Germany. No game management. When you park the bus, you invite pressure. Our coach is not a planner. Desiree Ellis is the best coach in the history of SA women's football. Nobody has achieved what she's achieved. We as supporters need to realize that WAFCON is a pond and World Cup is an ocean. Banyana are giants in WAFCON, but the World Cup, they are small fries. Let's see. You can't compare the mostly. Okay, yeah, no, I read that one. Let's carry on. For the first time, I agree with you. Maybe it's because you are... sorry... You're talking about Banyana. You said a mouthful. She don't know how to kill the game. Pitso once said, close the shop. How do you take Tembi out and field the slow Khariete and leave out Salgado on the bench? But you scored 2 goals. Why don't you park the bus? We made it difficult for ourselves. Sorati is a good player, but today she didn't have a good game. What is Jordaan actually doing there? His actions on Desiree must be investigated. Let me go to you, Hendrik. Hendrik, surely. Coach and players... You see the wrongs in the first game. Surely coming into the second game, you have to have a plan. I mean, I used the example of Uatazwani last season where, fine, the first red card took you by surprise and you don't know what to do. The second red card can't be a surprise. The third one can't be a surprise. The fourth one can't be a surprise. Shouldn't we have learned from this and made the changes, especially when you're looking at it's 3 games. It's group stages, 3 games in a knockout World Cup, in a do or die. Surely you go, all right, guys, we're going to put pride aside. We're going to put politics aside. Some of the players that are inside, we're asking you to give a little bit extra. I know people are saying the girls were tired, but guys, World Cup. Surely there should have been lessons learned going into this.
But my brother, tired from what? Tired from what? Like, let's be honest, guys. I want to be honest. We must not brush it. The same way we can go on platform, the same way we can come here and say, Ukune was bad, Peterson was bad. We must say it with the national team. Number one, the goalkeeper was bad. If I think maybe once time I could identify as a woman just Kuri just go there and help them because the goalkeeper was bad, my brother. I wish, like, when I was watching that goalkeeper, like, she's butterfly hands. I wish I could identify as a woman. Could go over to for that.
Mara, besides you having to go there, you have Udlamini on the bench. We saw how bad it was first game. Why then does Udlamini not make it onto the pitch in the second game?
Desri, she's the same thing as Uzwani. Favoritism, my brother. Like, whether we like it or not, there are players that will have the coach under their wing. That goalkeeper, let's be honest, she's bad. She can't catch. Imagine, guy, like a goalkeeper that can't even catch a ball. A goalkeeper that your defenders had to be the one to clear the ball off the line for you. My guy. So I think that's why now I normally blame Udezri for decision making. Number one, she could have by a long time switched the goalkeeper. And I said that goalkeeper was bad. And number two, why you keep her Ukasana? Why? Why did you take her out? Now I think for South Africa, the coach made bad decisions because I think South Africa could have actually embarrassed Argentina because South Africa had Argentina under their thumbs. Understand? So now I think her decision making killed the entire game. I blame Desiree. People can come and say, we must not blame Desiree. Bona, I blame her because she's the coach number one. She's the one that has full decision on the players. She knows who Ukatlana was scoring. She was scoring Ukatlana. She was playing the game. She was controlling the game. Why are you
Oh, 22,000. Thank you guys so much. 122,000. Hey. Anyway, sorry about that. You can go on.
Good, man. Congrats. Like, guys, serious, like, my guy. Like, for instance, why do you keep a player that was putting pressure on the Argentinian defense? Why? You want to park the bus. The best way to defend is to attack, my brother. So, like I said when I came in here, one thing that you can never do as a coach is defend, because the more you defend is the more that you let your opposition have a plan on how to penetrate you. Understand? They had a plan and then they used it. Unfortunately, we are not Mnandi. The goalkeeper is not Mnandi, and then as much as our defense, even if we can have the toughest defense, but the goalkeeper has to pitch in, because there are balls that will obviously go through defenders, and then the goalkeeper has to be like a sweeper. The goalkeeper has to be someone that comes to the party. But unfortunately, that goalkeeper, my brother, she did not come to the party. She's bad. I think Uru Dlamini should have came in. I don't know why even that goalkeeper, I forgot her name. I don't know why she was still playing. Like, for instance, Swart. I don't know why she was playing. There's this one gentleman that said maybe it's because of race. Sometimes I think about it. Maybe it's because of it. Because why is she playing, Vela? Why is she playing? Tell me, why is she playing? She's bad. Yes, the goals that she conceded to other people may seem more. No, there are goals that maybe like she could not do anything about. My brother, number one, as a goalkeeper, you have to be vocal to your defenders. Like I remember when we had problems with Ubuvuma and Upitas, we said those people are not vocal like Khanye was, so they have to be vocal. So Uswart is not vocal, my brother. It's like she's playing her own game, and then the Banyana defense is playing their own game. Understand? So my brother, Banyana, they were supposed to put us on the map. That's why I feel a little bit of angry. They were supposed to put us on the map, and then now Udezri makes like lazy decisions. Those were lazy decisions. We must not sugarcoat it. We must not sugarcoat it because she's a woman. Because why do we tell him, no, Zwani, he made these decisions. Udezri, she made stupid decisions. You can't keep Ukashana, my brother. She, like, the defenders of Argentina, did you see them? Like, they couldn't even do anything to Okatana. So why are you taking her out? Kanjan, why? She was not tired. She had no injuries. Why? Why are you taking her out? For what? For you to defend. You thought you were going to the next round. But no, look what happened. You thought you were going to the next round. Look what happened now. And then Sweden. The fact that we only lost by 1 goal to Sweden, that tells you that Banyana, they've got the potential to win the World Cup. Now that's why I'm saying we must get someone that's qualified. Number one, we must stop this thing of a women's team must be coached by women's team. We must get people that are qualified. Like, you will see, people don't know this, but you will see, as soon as you watch the World Cup, you will see there are women's national teams that are coached by men. So I think now it's time for us to work on resume, because one thing that I can see with Desri, she gets happy too much, and then one other thing, she can't battle well and that can battle well under pressure. That's one thing that I can tell you, my brother.
Okay, no, I hear you. Well, I just think the right coach must coach. I still think Desiree earned it, but then it's like now it's when we need to question and when we need to see what we do. Agent 007, we're doing the same things, man. We didn't learn, and I feel as though now everybody knows what our weaknesses are, and it doesn't seem like we're going to do anything about them going forward.
Yeah, if I go to your point, I think I want to agree with you that, I don't think it's a women thing or anything like that. I think Desiree is a good coach, That's what I'm saying. And he's not making mistakes. These mistakes is what happened in the Sweden game. That's when you can say, maybe mistake. But when it becomes a habit, we can no longer say it's a mistake. And, and like I'm saying, we need to question what is going on with Desiree, Is something wrong, I don't want to be the guy with conspiracy theories that, what, he's part of the deep state, but anyways, and people are mentioning that the media has not been played in Sundowns and everything like that, blah, blah, blah. This is the national team. There's a reason why national team doesn't chop and change anyhow depending on form. National team will always have a backbone. Look at England. It has Maguire. Maguire will play. It doesn't matter whether he's playing at United or not. He will play. And he plays well, Look at Nuko Mobi, So national team will always have its backbone, And that means is not playing at Sundowns because the Botswana lady, Buseja, is better than him, But that doesn't mean he's not the best keeper in SA.
I think also the question for me isn't even about who's better, who's this or whatever. The question for me is, questions have been asked.
Yeah.
Now we need answers. You hear what I mean? So it's not even let's take out the sexist stuff and all of that stuff. Let's take that out. You have a team A. And you've seen that teams are taking advantage of this particular problem, right? Now, you have to go, there's a reason why I have other keepers. There's a reason why I have a 25-person squad. You get what I mean? There's a reason why I'm taking all these people so that, we saw something wrong. Maybe not Damini, forget Damini then. There's another keeper there, there's a third keeper, I'm just forgetting her name, right? At some point you would go, you know what, guys, let's fix the problem because we only have these 3 games of the group stages before we go anywhere else, right? And I think my criticism of Desiree is that you don't have time to play around and have an ego. Like when she came out afterwards and spoke about how this one plays better and she's choosing this one for this. Great, you had a plan. But your plan is not working on the pitch. At some point, you have to go, okay, let's change things up. You get what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, like you're saying, it's ego. That's another thing. And to your point that you wanted to us to arrive at is it's not a league. It's a competition. You go to a competition. You must have at least 2 or 3 starting lineups. You know what? There's 2 starting lineups, and I'm planning for at least 5 or 6 scenarios, What if we get a red card? What if our keeper gets injured? What if this happens? What if this happens? Because
what if they
don't
find
have
out
time.
my plan A? What if my plan A is not working?
What if they found out, hey, Katlana is the dangerous one? We men mark her, What do we do then, Because at that time, it's not a league. You don't have time to play around and see which combination can work, which won't work,
And take
all
a
those
draw
things.
and do all those technical things that are nice when you've got 38 games.
You get, even in a league, at some point, look at what happened to Middendorp. At some point, you get found out, and if you don't have plan B, you suffer, and I don't know if because I don't. If you look, if you watched AWFCON, I don't know how to pronounce it in short,
Oh,
but yeah,
WEFCON. Yeah, WEFCON.
AWFCON, yeah. We had like two plans, like some games we played long balls, like long balls, Katlana, chested, give to someone, you score. Sometimes you play interchanging football, So what's going on now, Why are we shifting from those two plans, if we get two plans, So I think it's just a matter of seeing, like I'm seeing, there's something wrong with Coach Desiree, and I think we have to, even if we lose this, we have to give her benefit of the doubt. Okay, fine. This was a Messi World Cup. We need to learn, but I think we need to beef up that technical team because I don't think it's strong enough. We need to bring in people like Simpio Kludlu, We need to bring in people like the Sundowns coach Shabalala, Like when you have a team of coaches, even if it's just part-time, you're saying when Desiree looks like he's lost, they can say, Coach, come here, let's do this, because sometimes, in as much as you can blame me, sometimes when in the heat of the moment, you don't see things proper, When you're outside the pressure, you can see, no, 1, 2, 3 is going wrong. But when in the heat of the movement, it's like when you're watching football, you say, that player should have chested the ball and passed. It's not easy when you're in the heat of the moment. You need someone who will look at it from a neutral view without emotions attached, And you have analysts not on the bench, but on the stands watching, because that's their job, to be out of the firing lines and have a new perspective. Yeah.
Okay. No, I hear you, Tabeleng. Do you think I'm gonna change the question a bit to you? Do you think that we're going to change in the third match? Do you think that the things we're speaking about now are going to be changed in the third match? And if not, why then? Because we've now got so much evidence.
I think if she doesn't change or they don't change it, it's an obvious thing. Politics, my man. It's either, you saw the first game, that your coach, remember we had that worst AFCON run we had, where we had three different keepers and 3 different games for Bafana Bafana. Because I remember it was Ponchani that time when he went, my man, you make a decision. He cost us the first game. You make the following decision, you change it. Now you make another keeper and you put another keeper in there. If not, we say it's politics. The rumors that Dlamini is being benched because of
the strike.
She initiated the strike, or she was one of the leaders. Maybe. Then we start believing her. Yeah, then we start believing that's true, because remember, my is a quick. I don't know, maybe people don't realize how we won AFCON. We were convincing, and we went there also as the underdogs, and people didn't even take us serious. What are we gonna win that?
Yeah.
And AFCON. People forget that she made subs that don't want us the game, actually, in a way. And she made subs that keep the game that way. That's why I said to you, I don't know whether it's stage fright or there's a voice in the background saying you can't play this, you can't play who, you can't play that.
But then are we being too lenient on Coach Desiree? Because, like, for example, when there was the strike here before they left to go to Australia, when they played the Botswana game, she came out and gave and coached that made up team, right? She came up, coached that made up team, and we said, hey, maybe she's protecting, maybe she's doing this. Now we're in Australia, and again we're sitting here going, hey, maybe it's politics, and maybe it's this and this and this. At what point do we say to Coach Desiree, if Coach Desiree, you were there and you're not helping the situation, or you are going with it and it's to the detriment of the team, when do we turn around and say, but Coach Desiree, what is your role then in this?
Actually, that's a great question, because you could say, why wasn't she standing with the girls the time they were like a strike? That's also a question. Like, it's questionable because remember, you picked the squad. You picked that squad. The same girls who are striking, saying Abanya Kodlala, you picked them. So if you pick them and they don't want to play, but you coach players that you didn't even want to pick, you see it's contradicting itself at some point or somehow. And you say, you have, actually someone mentioned that you have Bonoko Matlo. And if indeed she wanted to defend the lead, she could have just put in Bonoko. Bonoko knows how to defend. She's hard. She has the experience. Why don't you play her? Play in Dlamini. Even if you want to play it, you want to defend and get away. Why don't you put in Dlamini to catch those balls and clear them out? That's what they were trying to do.
Yeah.
So actually, it's very interesting because of Natlan. I could say it's politics. Because I mean, she also looks. I don't know. Desi used the last AFCON. She was happy, man. I mean, I saw her on the bench yesterday. We were leading 2-0. It was as if you're losing 8-0. I don't know. And maybe someone just said conspiracy theories. Yeah, it's conspiracy because of the subs that are being made. Players are games that are very, very, very important. It's not time to experiment. It's time to win games. Time to we are here. We are the best team in Africa. We know that. Time to show the world that we are best. We can compete with them. But if we're gonna let politics or we're gonna let feelings, sorry, we feel like or feel like this player not playing, it's gonna. And you know what? I also took offense yesterday. Instead of saying she got it tactically wrong in the second half, she's like, you know, when you mention like chances, you say we missed a lot of chances here and there and what. It's like you're pinpointing someone. You get me? It's pinpointing. So why don't you say tactically the second half we got it wrong so that you can hold the team together? So I'm questioning if I'm not saying she's a bad coach. She's a great coach. We know that. The question is if she holding down the team the way she's supposed to, and do the girls actually feel comfortable around her saying what she's the coach? Because I mean she coached under 15, under 16 against Botswana, and those girls she picked them. You know, sometimes people lose hope over there.
Okay, no, let me bring in Malume Kutso. Malume Kutso, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you doing?
I'm well, and how are you, Mr. OT?
Amen. I'm disappointed, but tell me, I'm going to ask you the same question that I asked the guys here. That if you don't learn from the mistakes that you've been making, at what point do we then look at and ask questions? Because for me, it feels as though we are protecting Coach Desiree. We are protecting some of the players, instead of going, but guys, it didn't work for whatever reason. I don't subscribe to things like the sexist stuff and all of that. I'm just going, when you look at the match and you look at a tournament like this, you learned something that we didn't do in the second. We didn't learn anything from that, whether it's politics or whatever. When do we hold them accountable for these type of things?
Mr. OT, please allow me. I'm
sorry.
I just want to congratulate Safa. Firstly, congratulate the women of this country. Congratulate Coach Desiree Ellis. They've brought hope to a country that did not have hope at all, that did not have a team at all. A country that has not played at the World Cup since 2010, 13 years. That is for men's game. And if you minus that 2010, I don't think we're even at the World Cup 2006. So the last time we really qualified in the men's game was in 2002. So for someone to come here and say men, I could say, where's the proof? Where's the tangible evidence or yes, men are better at this thing? How do we do this to a coach who just gave us the AFCON just last year?
Exactly. That's why I'm like, I'm not down on her.
We raised racism. Wasn't Kimang Ayanda Dlamini the goalkeeper when we went there? Andile Dlamini. When did the racism suddenly start? When did the weak women suddenly appear? Guys, we have not been to the World Cup. Last time when you asked me for a prediction, I said we would beat Argentina because outside of the top 10, I do not really rate, I do not really take into account the ratings. That is...
Yeah. Kare, I think we cut there a little bit. Hey, your network, Malume Khoza, I see it's flashing there. Okay, I'll see if we can't get Khoza back to finish off the point. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, no, I think in network that's killing Malume Khoza there. Let me read some of these comments here. Sticks doesn't deserve the pressure of the last game. The goalkeeper's killing us. I'm surprised Sweden and Argentina didn't take many shots out the box. Suarez is a defensive keeper. Dlamini was meant to play for playing the attacking style. Let me see who's here. Hey. Guys, can we get a chance? I don't see you here, Thomas. I tried to let you in, but you fell off. True, the coach is not managing the team well. Last night, the keeper was not fit at all. Coach, have to do better next game if the team wants to win. Kasana wasn't supposed to go out. At 2-0, you bring on experienced players. Conspiracy theories, guys, where's the proof? There's a voice in the background. I believe there's a voice in the background, but she's also at fault. She makes the final call. So you guys are saying voices won us WAFCON. Swart fumbled against Sweden, second game against Argentina. She was still there. Guess she fumbled again. Guys, the same people we praise when we win are the same people we should blame. I think I'm going to get to the guys here quickly, but that's the point I'm trying to make. Like, my thing is, I don't want to talk about politics. I don't want to talk about all the things that everybody's talking about around the game. We had 2 games in the World Cup where we saw the glaring mistakes, right? So you go and play Sweden, and we start realizing, as everybody did when we were watching the game, right? We're watching the game and we're going, Kalen Swartz is not meant for this game, these type of games, because what we're seeing is these people are going to go route one at some point or start looping balls in. And that is a glaring error. That is something that we're looking at and seeing. It's not a comment, or for me, it's not a comment on race. It's not a comment on this or that or whatever. It's we watched the game, we saw something, right? So surely there's analysts who watch the game and go, okay, Coach Desiree, even Coach Desiree, guys, this is where we're weak. 1, 2, 3, 4 is where we're having problems. You get what I mean? And then you go in the second game, over 3 games, guys, you have 3 games in order to make it into the knockouts, right? So then you go, okay, in the second game, what can we change in this game that's going to mitigate what happened last time? You get what I mean? And I'm going to express one more time. Banyana play incredible football when they're on the front foot. But now we have to ask questions about when we are on the back foot, what happens? And that's where the questions are coming from. So as a coach, as somebody who watched the game, not even as a coach, as someone who watched the game, I saw that when the going got tough versus Sweden, our weak point was Uswartz, for example, and our defense being short. So I've got Dlamini on the bench, and I'm like, okay, Dlamini is maybe slightly taller and also is known for commanding the box. There's a reason why I brought her here, right? Everybody's saying, no, she didn't play and Sundowns and whatever. Then she should have been left at home, if not for the situation where I need you to do a certain thing. So I have somebody who may be better doing a certain thing, or even the third goalkeeper that's there, right? If for whatever reason you're not going to play Andile, there's a third goalkeeper there. So now I can go, okay, can this mitigate that? Okay, we saw last time versus Sweden that when the going got tough, our defense was in 6s and 7s. They didn't know where to go. We were running up and down. We were headless chickens for a little bit. Maybe I bring in an experienced player whom we have on the bench in Unuku, for example. We have Unuku Mato on the bench and we go, okay, bring in Unuku so that there's somebody who can direct the defense. There's somebody who's going to sit there and tell them, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. When I go there. If Swartz can't do it, and we're not going to put in Dlamini, then bring in somebody who can do that. You get what I mean? Because, to the point Olan is making, we take into consideration that we are playing against countries that want to win also. That's the reason why I'm saying this. Because we also want to win. So how do I get to my win? What's the best way to get to my win? I know it's knockouts. I know Argentina's going to go 2-0. They're not going to go quietly into the night. They're going to come and attack us. Now, as a coach, I have to be prepared to say, okay, when this situation hits me, I'm going to do this. Over and above the lessons we should have learned from Sweden, right? And again, one more time, they play incredible football. But as I said in the beginning of this whole thing, the difference between good and great is now when I'm in the situation, when a question has been asked of me, I need to be able to answer. So as a coach of Desiree Ellis's experience and knowledge and WEFCONs and all of that stuff, you'd expect that, okay, we're 2-0 up, the pressure's on, we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. You would expect that Banyana at their practices, at their tactical sessions, at any of these things, they were sat down and they were told, you're going to do 1, you're going to do 2, you're going to do 3, you're going to do 4. When the game is like this. When the game is like this, you do this. It's situational. Because in a cup competition, it's a situational competition. Right? You're going to get 90 minutes. I concede. Sweden scores, let's say, Sweden scores first against me. Now I have to have a plan to go, how do I get 2 goals back? I score first. How do I make sure that they don't score and maybe I consolidate the lead? Now we're going into the last 10 minutes. It's 10, 15 minutes, right? How do we then sit? Those are things that coaches are meant to be able to do. And whether there's politics, whether there's all of that stuff, we don't see the politics. I don't want to know the politics, and I don't want to use the politics as a shield. Because like I said, if there is really politics and Safa saying something, that means that Coach Desiree must also be held accountable. If that makes sense. So if the example I use is very simple. They rob a bank, I'm sitting in the car. Or I knew about the plan that they're robbing a bank. The police want to take me and at least charge me with conspiracy or something like that. They're still going to charge me with something. But to say that, no, she's scot-free. And if you know that there's politics and there's real politics behind the thing, then give me a plan that works around the politics. Give me a plan with those players that then, if Andile is not allowed to play, there's the third goalkeeper. If Nuku's not allowed to play, what am I going to do to make sure that I cover that thing? Because that's part of me going along with the politics. So that's why I don't want to speak about any of the politics and the this and the that. That's neither here nor there for me. I'm going, you have a game. And we're clearly not prepared to consolidate and protect a lead. We're not prepared. That's my thing. That's all I'm saying. We're not prepared. And for a team that's done so well, and we've won the WEFCONs and we've done all that, it's not time for us to sit here and say, hey guys, no, they need to develop and learn how to play better. Hey guys, no. It's a knockout competition. We've been working towards the World Cup for how many years coming to this point? How many years? And me, I'm sorry if I'm irritated by the fact that you're gonna throw it away because of politics. You're gonna throw it away because, hey, this player or Safa is doing this. You're gonna throw it away because we've come into a moment where we're being attacked and we've got pressure, right? They play incredible football. I want to see it through. But the difference is the Argentina coach went 2-0 down. And he went, you know what? Hey, Rodriguez, come in. This one come in, that one come in, because now as Argentina, we're going to do this. They stopped putting the ball on the floor and they went, you know what, guys? When we play balls into the box, this keeper is not strong enough with balls into the box. The defense gets itchy at certain times during the matches. They've lost their midfield, their main midfield captain. They've done this. Those are people that were well drilled for each of the situations. Now the question is, what happens with Banyana? Now we've put ourselves in a situation, not like, I see people speaking about Bafana. It's not like Bafana, where we're taking out calculators because we have to do these weird things. We've lost so many games. Now we have to score 8 goals and have to do this. These ladies play incredible football. But it's the small moments that are robbing us. Tony, welcome to the show. How are you doing, my brother? Sorry about that. I just had to get that off.
I know, my brother, I'm good. I understand your anger, my brother, because as you say, it's not like Banyana were dominated in those 2 games.
Yes.
They are playing. Everyone expected Sweden to walk all over Banyana.
Yes.
But what did Banyana do? They hold their own against Sweden. So we expected better against Argentina, of which I feel that Argentina, it was a chance for us to at least maybe get those maximum points and then make our job easier against Italy. Okay, coming to the issue of our goalkeeper.
Yeah.
I think in today's game, I'm surprised that Argentina took this long to play those long balls into the area, because they should have started that first half. Because they saw in the Sweden game that this goalkeeper is struggling with those long balls. And to emphasize on that, you can't just say when there is a cross, she's coming out. She comes out, but she doesn't collect nor either touch a ball. There is no way that she's going to touch a ball. At least when you come out, let's just say I'm going to punch the ball, or maybe I'm going to hold into the ball.
Yeah.
So she's doing none of those things. And I don't buy this issue of Ayanda Dlamini not playing at Sundowns and all. But how come Andy. So the other thing that I want to touch on is the issue of defense. Nokomato is the only defender that I think physically, she's the only one who has that body, who can match those European girls who are tall and what. The other ones are playing well. I don't doubt their ability, but with those long balls, at least Noko was going to deal with those long balls and all. I remember in years gone by, we had a lady called Amanda Sester, if you still remember her.
Yeah.
She was good in the air and all. She had to cover for other goalkeepers who were not good in the air. So I blamed our coach here. We can sugarcoat it and say what. Let's put the gender thing aside and all, because we were having a hope that maybe South Africa will get those 3 points, but we didn't. Our coach really messed this one up, because Sweden in the first game, they had a plan. They started Banyana. Tembi Kgatlana always had 2 or 3 defenders on her. And it took that 3 defenders to stop her, of which it gave other players some spaces, those pockets of spaces to play on. So when you take her out against Argentina, Argentina were relieved that, okay, a pressure is out, and then we just have to play our game and then hoof those ball in the box. We know that their goalkeeper is not good in the air. That is why I'm saying that I'm surprised that Argentina didn't start those long balls in the first half, because they saw what happened during the game with Sweden.
Yeah.
So I'm also disappointed, because you can't just say Dlamini was not playing as Sundowns. So why is she there?
Exactly.
You see, so I am disappointed, man, and I understand the anger, because everyone expected those teams to walk all over Banyana, but Banyana are playing incredibly well, my brother. I don't want to lie. That is why we expected much from them.
Exactly.
Because even those 2 goals, the first goal that Argentina scored, there was a cross there. Swart came out and then missed that cross, and then it was cleared by one defender, of which it was good, and then our number 2 wanted to clear the ball, but it went straight to the to the
to the middle,
opposition.
to the opponent, yeah.
So even her positioning okay, that goal, the first one, it was a good goal, but if you look at her positioning, it wasn't as if that ball was on the top corner. You can say, wow, this was. But if the ball is on the level of a goalkeeper, it can take you 2 movements and then you are there. I'm disappointed in Kellen Swart and Desiree Ellis, like really, my brother.
Okay. No. I hear you, my brother. Yeah, and that's the thing. I think the one other thing that I want to clear up, honestly, is there's different types of frustration. And as South Africans, the frustration we're used to is the frustration where no one's ready, no one's playing, no one's doing anything, we're being embarrassed, we can't qualify, we can't do whatever. And I want us to distinguish with that, with the frustration right now is, guys, this is a great team. I don't know how many times I'm going to say this. This is a great team that plays incredible football. But the frustration comes where you go, they can't finish a game. They can't finish a game. I think the frustration is that we want Banyana to do so well. We want Banyana to be in the final of the World Cup if they can, right? But we just get so frustrated with these small things, with these small things. When you look at the levels of some of the teams, it's so... We played the 3rd team in the world, man. And we lost by a goal after leading. We played the 28th team in the world and we were 2-0 up and we lost that game. So it's that frustration now, we just can't finish off these games. Agent 007, I'm looking at the time right now and I've gone over a little bit, but I want to ask you, we've said all the wrongs that happened. Maybe we should focus and speak a little bit about the right that we saw from this team.
Yes, I mean, I don't know. We're gonna keep that around my final thoughts, right? Or you're gonna skip that one?
Do both of them. So do this question, then also your final thoughts.
Yeah, because I think, like I said, it was a 4-4-2, and we had solid backline. I mean, Gamede and Mbani played well, and when Dlamini or Malepe pushed, we had Jani sitting in front of them, sort of front 3, So it was a good tactics, like we played well. The organization was there, like I said, the Matlalo, Sopasingwe, Katlana combination was working well, and Makhaila also played well, like we could see the build up, you could see like this can look a goal. Like every time you touch the ball, you say, wow, this team reminding me of Sundowns, like the goal just doesn't come out of individual brilliance. You see the build up to a goal. You could see, you could sense it, like you could smell blood, like, okay, this team is playing well, and I was also impressed with, even when we but substituted Jani, we had Banyana, and Banyana was, in as much as he was strong, he could control the tempo of the game, and like we discussed some time back, Katlan again is a star, but sometimes he needs to pass the ball a bit quicker and avoid, this tricks of his, but generally he's a skillful player, and like if ever we had a golden generation, this is the golden generation, like one of those that one was, there's a good squad, like this was very good, but this one is the golden generation because you look at these girls, most of them are also playing abroad, like the quality is there, the quality is there. So I'm very impressed with, that's why I kept on saying, like, I don't want to say there is a bad coach or it's not good enough, because she is, even the way I see Banyana playing, you could see there's a team, that can even challenge, for at least a top 8 spot, because that good, and I think Abuti said some things like outside the top 10, other teams I think they're just being pleased by vibes, because I don't think Argentina is better than Banyana, you know. We are way much better. And that's where the inexperience comes in, you know. And I think going forward, the next game, we need to work on drills, you know, drills and situations and scenarios, and say, if this situation happens, we need to do this. If this situation happens, we need to do this, you know. And we also have to say, if you're going to be playing Killer and Swart, you know, we gotta say, okay, fine, let's play at least a back five, you know, instead of a back four, so that can give him a bit of protection, you know. And if you're not going to be playing Matro, you know, you can even bring in someone. I don't know the other defenders, because I'm not sure of them in the lineup, you know. Bring in someone who can play between the two centre backs, Gamed and Maban, because both of them are too short. They need someone with a bit of height and someone who can guide the team also, you know. And we need Khatlana to take Khatlana, in as much as you are vice captain, you know, as much as you are a star, you know, you can do this, but you need to show leadership also. Not leadership in terms of playing, but in terms of commanding the girls. Like, girls, let's keep shape, you know, let's keep with the ball. Because another problem is when we lose the ball, it's like we lose shape also. You know, all of us, like 11 men behind the ball, and we want to start from there. You know, sometimes you don't have to do that. You know, you have to maintain your shape, move with the ball, move side to side, you know, force them out, force them in, you know, those kind of things. And yeah, I think, like I was saying, now for me, this is my golden generation compared to Abu Matro and Pushia, that squad, you know. And as for my final thoughts, you know, I don't know. It's like I saying, it's the hope that kills, you know. That almost is the one which is killing me. So I don't want to say this, but it looks like it's a South African thing, you know. We are good in maths and calculators, you know. So hopefully, you know, we Sweden beats Italy tomorrow, you know, because if Italy wins, you're gonna have a problem when you play them, you know. And I think, like I was saying, sometimes we need to swallow our pride and say, you know what, Nukomatro, Dlamini, you don't even have to apologize. You just have to put them in, you know. They'll have a natural hunger to prove you wrong, that you should have played us, you know. But sometimes as a coach, just, you know, let me just swallow my ego, you know. And even if there's interference from outside, you say, you know what, I gave you guys what you wanted first two games. Now let me do what I know what I can do, you know. And to the two girls, Matlo and Dlamini, you know, there's a quote which I like by this former American president. You know, he says, the tree of liberty must be from time to time be refreshed with the blood of patriots. You know, if indeed you have been punished for what they stood for, you know, then it means you guys fought a good fight, you know, and you should be commended. You know, even if you didn't play a single minute, it was a good fight. Even some of us, we supported you guys, that it was a good fight, and future generations will benefit. You know, that's all we can say about the situation, you know. And I'm just hoping that we beat Italy and qualify, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No. Thank you so much, guys. If you haven't followed, please follow me. Also follow me on Facebook to watch the previous lives and see my other footballing content on that side. Pratoni, I'm gonna ask for the positives of Banyana and also your closing statements.
Oh, there are so many positives, my guy, you see. Like our coach job was made easier because the girls have been playing so well. That is why that we are only focused on one issue. I just think it's one issue that we are focused on. But my positive from my side is that, as I said before, no one gave Banyana a chance against Sweden. But at the end of the day, one goal was only the difference. Maybe those who don't know Banyana also didn't give them a chance against Argentina because of the name Argentina. But at the end of the day, it's a game that we should have won and comfortably so. You see, so those are positives because everyone knows that you can't just say we are going to play with those African girls. Those African girls, you can beat them. The positives is that Italy is going to come to play Banyana, knowing that Banyana, they are good at what they do. They have instilled fear into everyone in this World Cup. Those teams that are in our group, they didn't expect to that Banyana that turned on in those two games. Everyone, I think everyone was saying that if we can get 3 points against South Africa, 3 points against South Africa will be good, and then a draw with someone and a draw with someone will be good. But they didn't find that one. That's a positive. And then another positive is that if people get disappointed on you, they know that you can do better. Whatever that you did was not good enough because they can see that you can do better. So that's the only positive that I see, my brother. And then my final thought is that I'm skeptical about us winning the match against Italy. It's a must win. That's a pressure. It's a must win, of which that our job was going to be easier if we got those 3 points against Argentina. So right now we have to defend well and then score goals again, of which that I don't think that with the current situation that is happening with our coach, he won't balance those two things. If he's going to defend, that means he's going to concentrate only on defending. So I will just say Seretla bona pele.
I no ke a khutla Pratoni. Hey guys, I see you guys asking to come on in the comments, but I need to go. I'm actually over time right now. I think for me, I want to end the live on a positive note because I think Banyana have done enough for us to be hopeful and happy. I think, like I said, that offensively, Refilwe, Linda, Top, Tembi in the front, Hilda, Jermaine, even Kashani played yesterday. I think the poise they play with, the confidence they play with, the way they control the game is incredible. I've loved watching Utembi, who is quote-unquote undersized, according to many football people, watching her dominate these bigger people, watching her dominate these guys, put them in the corner, drive up the pitch, has been incredible. I would love to see a little bit more from Jermaine, but the way they play, man, Abolinda, the way Urifilo holds the midfield is incredible, right? Even our defense, it's not as if our defense is getting beaten all the time and everybody's running. This is not the old Banyana. And I think it's great that we're sitting here and we're having these kind of conversations because we haven't had these conversations in a very long time. You know, when last did we have these conversations about any of our other national teams, national football teams? So I think I'm grateful that they've given us hope, but I need them to push. It's the final match. I don't care if you're not Refile Jane, I don't care if you're not whoever, we need to push. We've shown that we're very good. We've shown that this is an incredible team, but it means nothing if we don't see it through, if we don't stand up. Like I said, I'm an Arsenal fan. I've got so many almost stories, almost this, almost that. Let me tell you, it's not nice to sit with a very good team and sit there and go almost. And I wish that Banyana could just, a big push, just a big push. It's 90 minutes. It's 90 minutes. We've played amazingly. We've played well versus people who nobody expected us to play well against. So I just want us, just show us some heart and finish it off, you know. Thank you guys so much for joining me. If you haven't followed me, please follow. Please support the ladies too. Follow the account. Follow on Facebook too to watch previous ones. I really do need support as well, guys. Like I said, I do this every Monday to Friday, 12:30 in the afternoon, and then also Monday to Wednesday at 8 p.m. Please, guys, I can only have so many people on the panel with the time, so I will get to everybody. Everybody will get a chance to speak on here, but just know the time is limited as well. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Thank you to the panelists. Thank you for the gifts that have coming. Thank you, Janine. Thank you, Mohala. Thank you, Senzohuhle MK Deep House 779. Thank you so much for the gift. Thank you so much for the likes. And thank you so much for joining me and interacting with me. I'll see you guys again on Monday. Facebook. I haven't forgotten about you guys. Let me see what's being said here in the comments. All the way, where was I? Black coaches know nothing about. Hey, no, I don't want to. Come on, guys. Let's not say that. One colored player. Guys, let's not. I don't want to have this convo, guys. I don't want to have this. I don't want to have convos about the racial makeup of the team or things like that. Let's talk about the football. This is not a team that just came out of nowhere. This is a team that did very well. We are the African champions. So it's not a team that was assembled yesterday and lucked themselves here. So let's have a conversation about the football, because at the end of the day, that's what it is. And also remember, this is not a team that was overrun. That was overrun, that was outplayed, that looked poor, that all of that stuff. They played well. Osota fell at the finishing touches. And it's sad that it's come to this place. So we have to question. But let's not make it an ugly conversation. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you guys on Monday.